I'm waiting for this camera to quit being blurry because there's not an excuse or reason for it. Basically, it's doing this no matter what I do. Well, it's probably a minute has gone by, and I again have not changed any of the settings on the webcam. It's an automatic focus webcam. There's no reason for it to be blurry when it doesn't do this usually during the day or any other time. And it's in the exact same position and spot that it was before when it was recording my face without any kind of blurriness. So I haven't moved the camera at all. It's in the exact same spot. And this is what it's doing right now. So as I was saying, now that the camera is not blurry, is basically after what the local Wenatchee police did to me in setting me up for a false arrest for the second time and interfering with my work. And it wasn't just the Wenatchee police, local police, it was also the Seattle FBI. After they worked together to force me out of work and to be stuck in Wenatchee, I was basically then put into a forced position of homelessness. I went to community service to see if there was any kind of a housing assistance. They didn't have anything that I was being told about. I was told to go to a women's shelter, which I did because I didn't have any other options at that time. So I went to a women's shelter. Actually, I didn't go to a women's shelter first, I don't think. I guess the next thing that happened is that I was trying to figure out what to do, and I was at the only place that had Wi-Fi because I was having to work so late at night and trying to make contacts with, basically, if anybody, I mean, I was on my computer all the time. Somebody could have thought that I had written probably 12 novels, but with the amount of time that I spent online. But most of the time that I was online, I was literally writing to lawyers and to human rights groups and different agencies in the U.S. trying to get help and assistance over being tortured in the United States and having my son illegally kidnapped from me. So it wasn't like I was playing a bunch of games online or like I was texting all kinds of different individuals. I was, most of the time, primarily, I was 100% of the time engaged in trying to get my son back. I didn't have any other objective. I was looking either, if I wasn't looking for work and for housing because I was forced into a bad situation for some reason by another U.S. federal employee, I was looking for an attorney. That was it. I spent all of that time on my computer, pretty much from the time that I got up until I went to bed, looking, basically trying to get help for my son in this United States. The only other thing that I did for online, for I guess leisure of any kind, or trying to relax and vent and stay healthy within, regarding my stress levels, was to write or blog a little bit every day, which didn't take up most of my day because I type fast. I type about 65 words a minute. It's not super fast, but it's decent speed to do the amount of typing that I would do per day. And listen to music, and that was it. If I wasn't listening to music to try to relax, then I was maybe blogging. The rest of the time, that took up maybe 5% of my online activities. The entire 95% of the rest of the time was literally looking for work, trying to contact politicians and senators and different individuals who were fighting CPS or corruption or various things, and looking for a lawyer. I didn't waste time on anything else. I wasn't playing, I mean, maybe a year or so later, every now and then to relax, I might play a game of online Pac-Man. For like an hour. I would just play some random game an hour out of my day. But I wasn't doing that at that time. And for the most part, like I said, I'd never played games online. I didn't play games. And all I was doing was working on my computer day after day after day. When all this country wanted to do was to drown me. I've spent I've spent nothing but years of my life on the computer trying to help my son. While the United States has tortured me. And my son. Through technology, through the aerospace defense industry. They have never let me get ahead in any way, in any normal way that any United citizen is able to have any kind of proof or evidence that they have civil rights at all. This country has stolen from me for over 7 years. It's pretty much, it goes back a lot further than that, obviously, because I've talked about when this country started putting implants into my body so that they could try tele-torturing me. Since 1995, after they put microchip implants into my body in a surgery at the University of Utah Hospital. But this country has been trying to drown me for 7 years. Or I would say closer to 11. They've made my life completely impossible for about 7 years, basically. During that time, I've been tortured. And my son has been tortured. I've been falsely arrested multiple times. I've been forced out of traveling, forced out of work, and the entire time I've spent all of these hours and days and months and years writing to lawyer after lawyer. And to the FBI, for help. And the entire time I've been a target of torture. I didn't just spend all of my time on the computer, but all of the time that I have spent on the computer has been for my son. The rest of the time that I spent was walking because the United States has stolen my cars from me in both Canada and after I reported their agents in 2004. They stole my car from me. Basically, they stole my right to drive, and then they stole my car. So during that time, I've had to walk or take a bus trying to find work. And because the FBI has slandered me and defamed me so badly,